Our next story is from Europe, where the Ukrainian president is on a tour. Volodymyr Zelensky is visiting 3 countries, Greece, France and Spain, and he has one mission: to shore up military and political support for Ukraine. In France, Zelensky has had some success. Paris has agreed to supply Kiev with 100 Rafale jets. But a corruption scandal in Ukraine has cast a shadow over this deal. We've told you about it on the show. The scandal involves members of President Zelensky's inner circle. Reports say they took kickbacks worth $100 million. It led to the sacking of 2 ministers, and it has prompted leaders in Europe to ask uncomfortable questions. Our next report has more.
Zelensky is back in Europe. He's signing deals, securing aid, and landing fighter jets for Ukraine. In Paris, Zelensky has signed a big-ticket defense deal. French President Emmanuel Macron was there when both sides announced Kiev will buy the Rafale fighter jets.
The first thing is that Ukraine will be able to receive 100 Rafale F-4 aircraft, very powerful French radars, 8 air defense systems, SAMPT-6 launchers each.
But behind the handshakes, there's a shadow. A corruption scandal back home, one that's rattling Zelensky's inner circle and raising new questions about Ukraine's government. It centers on Ukraine's state nuclear agency. Investigators have uncovered a $100 million embezzlement scheme, secret deals, fake names, luxury villas, and even a golden toilet bowl, all built with public money. Some of the accused are close to Zelensky. His former business partner, Timur Mindich, fled the country hours before a raid. 2 ministers from Zelensky's cabinet have resigned. Others are under investigation. And the former deputy prime minister is named in court records. The case is serious. The president is trying to contain the fallout. He's called for swift punishment. His aides say he was floored by the scale of the theft. But critics say it's not enough, because this isn't just about embezzlement. It's about what the government did when the probe began. Reports say Ukraine's leadership tried to weaken the anti-corruption agency when it first began investigating 15 months ago. That's before any names had come out. The government tried to strip the agency's powers. Public backlash stopped it. Why does this matter? Because Ukraine receives billions in international aid every year. That includes money from the European Union, the United States, and other partners. And that aid comes with expectations of transparency and accountability. Zelensky is now traveling across Europe. He just concluded talks in Greece. He's heading to Spain next. And the message is clear. He wants Europe to stay invested, financially, militarily, and politically. But some European leaders are feeling uneasy. Reports say Zelensky's image has taken a hit. His tight control over power is under scrutiny, and the scandal has opened old wounds about corruption in Ukraine. Zelensky's top aide, Andriy Yermak, hasn't been accused. But insiders say he centralized too much, that he gave the wrong people too much access. Meanwhile, the war continues. Russian strikes are increasing. Ukraine's defense lines are holding, but under strain. And while the Rafale deal with France is a show of support, Zelensky's bigger battle may now be political. This was meant to be a diplomatic breakthrough, but the headlines tell another story. Zelensky is trying to win over Europe, but the scandal back home won't stay silent. Not while ministers are resigning, not while billions in aid hang in the balance. As they say, trust, when broken, might be the hardest thing to rebuild.
They promised glory. They delivered fear. They shaped nations. They scarred generations. From brutal purges to propaganda machines from stolen power to violent falls from the throne. Welcome to The Dictator, a series that strips away the myth and then exposes the men behind the tyranny. History remembers their power. Firstpost reveals their truth.